Is not this great Babylon that I have built for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power and for the honor of my majesty? Daniel chapter 4 verse 30. The boast was still lingering on his lips when the sky seemed to shift a heavy burden with a sudden terrifying silence. King Nebuchadnezzar, absolute ruler of the known world, stood atop the sprawling, hanging gardens of Babylon, bathed in gold of the even sun. Yet, before the echo of his pride could fade into the desert air, a voice fell from heaven like a thunder, pronouncing the decree of the Most High. In a single heartbeat, the mind that commanded armies, designed wonders, and held the fate of nations fractured. The regal mantle felt heavy as ash. The gilded palace turned into a suffocating cage, driven by primal, irresistible torment. The great king cast off his crown, fell to his hands and knees, and fled into the wild fields, struck with boanthropy, reduced to grazing like the beasts of the earth, until 7 seasons passed over him. Welcome to the Sovereign Renaissance, a channel through the arcane, mystical, and occult science. In the book of Daniel, specifically chapter 4, King Nebuchadnezzar II of Babylon does not experience a permanent military or political overthrow. Rather, he suffers a temporary downfall driven by divine judgment against his supreme pride. His fall unfolded through specific sequence of warnings, arrogance, sudden madness, and eventual restoration. The warning dream of the great tree. Nebuchadnezzar had an alarming dream that his royal astrologers could not interpret. He called upon Daniel, who revealed the meaning. The dream, a towering tree that provided food and shelter to the whole world, was ordered by a heavenly watcher to be cut down, leaving only its stump wrapped in iron and bronze. The interpretation. Daniel explained that the great tree was Nebuchadnezzar himself. God decreed that the king would lose his mind and be driven into the wild to live like a beast for 7 times, traditionally understood as 7 years. The purpose? The punishment would last until Nebuchadnezzar acknowledged that the Most High rules the kingdom of men and gives it to whom he wishes. Daniel urged the king to repent and show mercy to the oppressed, to delay the judgment. The boast and immediate fall. God granted Nebuchadnezzar 12 months to repent. However, 1 year later, while walking on the roof of his royal palace, the king boasted, and I quote, "Is not this great Babylon, which I built for a royal dwelling place, by the might of my power and for the glory of my majesty?" Close quote. Before the words left his mouth, a voice from heaven announced that his royal authority was taken from him. The period of madness or boanthropy. Nebuchadnezzar was immediately struck with a sudden form of insanity, a condition recognized today in clinical psychology as boanthropy, where a person believes they are a bovine animal. He was driven away from human society and lived in the fields. He ate grass like an ox. His hair grew long like eagle feathers, and his nail grew like bird claws. He remained in this state for 7 periods of time until his pride was ultimately broken. Restoration and humility. At the end of the appointed time, Nebuchadnezzar looked up towards heaven and acknowledged God's supreme authority over all earthly kingdoms. His sanity regained. The moment he humbled himself and praised the Most High, his reason returned to him, throne restored. His nobles and advisers sought him out, and he was re-established as king of Babylon, with even greater majesty than before. 7 long seasons bled into one another under the scorching Mesopotamian sun and the freezing desert nights. His hair grew matted like eagle feathers, his nails carved like claws of birds. The mighty monarch who once commanded empires was now a forgotten creature of the soil, drenched in the dew of heaven, grazing alongside beasts. Yet divine judgment was not meant to destroy Nebuchadnezzar. It was meant to break the illusion of his self-made kingdom. When the appointed days were fulfilled, the wild monarch turned his wild, weathered face upward. The veil of delusion lifted as suddenly as it had fallen, and for the first time Nebuchadnezzar truly saw. And I quote, "And at the end of the days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted mine eyes unto heaven, and mine understanding returned unto me. And I blessed the Most High, and I praised and honored him that liveth for ever, whose dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom is from generation to generation." Close quote. That is Daniel chapter 4, verse 34. And if you liked this episode, please do like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, goodbye.